everybody, welcome to A Crafter's Story. It's Celeste here. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and of course the like button if you enjoy this video today. So I've, scouring the internet, looking for ideas, thinking about things I want to do in 2025, and something that I've been reading a lot about because I like to read about artists and what they do. Because I like to do a little arty crafty, little painting on the side. And one lady that I came across was making zines. She's actually an English teacher, and then I came across a video of somebody making a zine, and a zine, I found out, is actually a craft that's almost 100 years old. A zine is short for fanzine or magazine, because it's this tiny little book, right? And so I thought, oh, I want to make those. And I love paper, crafts, and so on, so it just fitted the bill for me. So anyway, let me stop yakking away about all my influences and show you what I did. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is to use up all my scrappy bits. So I used all these little strips of paper, and I was just pasting them down on a big sheet of paper, and I photocopied it. And so here's a photocopy piece, and here is the photocopy. And I then went ahead and folded, almost like an origami fold, this little book. So let me show you how I did that, and then I'll show you some more examples of how I made them. This is another one of my just photocopied pieces of my collage work, and I think I have it here. Yes, here is the upside down. Here is the original of just collaging with all my scraps, and there is the piece that I photocopied. So I'm going to make one of these little zines. Oh, that makes so much noise. One of these little zines, I've made a few now, so hopefully I remember how, with just one piece of paper and a pair of scissors. I did take it a little step further and made them into little pocket zines, but we'll talk about that afterwards. So I'm going to turn this over. So you have just one sheet of 8.5 by 11. I'm going to fold it in half, hamburger style. Apparently there's a hamburger hot dog style. So for any of you guys who understand what that means, this is the hamburger style. So it's the sort of more, the bigger fold. So I'll do the big fold in half. And then I'm going to take the open side. And this is just a preference for me because I found that the open side moves if I go that way from the folded side. And the open side, I'm going to take that where the paper met previously, and I'm going to fold it in half again. Fold it down, and I'm going to use my bone folder just to get nice crisp creases. I hope I make sense, guys, because I know that sometimes I tend to waffle. I tend to talk too fast, I think, too, sometimes. Somebody told me I talk too fast. And I don't mean to, I just get excited. So I'm going to open this up and fold it. This is supposedly the hot dog style, and maybe it's the shape, because a hot dog is long ways. So this is now folding it in the other direction. And you're doing this because you're creating, okay, got it lined up. You are creating 8 little spaces. And when you open it up, you'll see it now. You won't see it so much on the sides, a bit busy. When you open it up, you can see now, I've got 8 little spaces. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold it back into this half. And this is where I am just going to do a little trick, because it helped me, because I can't really see where this fold is very well because this paper is so busy. So what I decided to do, because I need to cut along this line, is to take out my dauber with a little bit of black ink and just to mark that little line where I'm going to have to cut. And now all of a sudden it's been marked, demarcated. What did I do? Oh, here. And now I'm going to cut from the folded inside part just to the middle, to where that line, that fold line is, just along where I have put my ink. I have the shakes this morning. I must have had too much coffee. And do that. All right, so I have done that. Now when I open up, there is a slit in the middle, so I'm going to turn it over, fold it hot dog style again, and stand it like a tent. So you can see it's already kind of gaping. And then I'm just going to take the two corners, push together. Ta-da! It's done! I have made, oh, let's do it this way, because that little birdie can then be, so this will be the front. Oh, now this guy's upside down. Well, I guess that's the nature of a collage page, right? You're always going to have upside down pieces and the right way up pieces. You're just going to have to decide which ones you want right way up or upside down. So the butterfly is going to be upside down, so is the writing. And so maybe I can do something here. I don't really mind, to be honest with you. But here is my little Zine. And so what I decided when I was making these, and I thought just because I wanted to take it up one little notch, is to make little pockets, because this little book is folded. There's no stitching, there's no taping, there's no glue. And so what I'm going to do is I am going, let me see, if I do that as the front, then that is my top, and I'm going to glue this closed to make that a pocket. So let's start with that. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, because I've decided that this is my front of my little Zine. I'm just going to run a little bit of glue along the bottom here. Why am I'm missing? It must be my shaky hands this morning. Okay, I'm going to just close that up, let it dry for a second, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a little glue at the bottom there, which then creates my first pocket at the top here. I'm trying not to touch it with these two fingers because they've got glue on them, so I'm using my pinky. But there's a pocket there. I'm going to now glue the bottom here, which puts a pocket over here. And so you're creating 4 pockets. Put a little bit of glue down here. So what I'm calling this a pocket Zine, because while it's still a little book, a little magazine, a little tiny little magazine, it also has these pockets, right? And so, okay, let's just finish with all this gluing, and then I'll bring out all the examples that I made, and I will show you. So it is a great way to use up maybe book pages or photocopies of your masterboards. If you do collage masterboards like I showed you, this is a copy obviously of a collage masterboard that I did. And okay, so there's another pocket up there. I don't want to touch it because of the glue. And I'm going to do my last little bit of glue here. And so you can either make little cards that you then put in here, or you can use them as little storage spaces for collectibles. Maybe it's a concert ticket that you want to commemorate and keep as a souvenir. Maybe it's a ticket to a theme park that you did with your family or your friends, and you want to keep that, and maybe jot down little things that you did while you were there. So you could always paste in a little bit of line paper here to write on, or if there are spaces in the little book, like maybe up there with a white gel pen, you can write probably here as well. Here is nice writing space. At the back is a ton of nice writing space. Okay, so let's get these all sort of glued down. I'm going to put that one aside just for a little bit while it dries, and get the glue and the scissors and all that jazz out the way. And so this little Zine has nothing in it. It has a lot of potential, so I'm going to be able to put something on the front, which I am actually going to do with you guys, because what I did with this one is I put little affirmations on the inside. I am smart, I am strong, I am loving, I am worthy, I am blessed, I am loved. And then on the front I'm going to start the Zine with I am kind. So let me get some glue down on this little sticker, and then, you know, either I can write around these affirmations or I can keep them as is. And I just think these are great little gifts to kind of pop into maybe you're giving a gift to somebody who's not feeling great or going through a hard time, and they get this little book and they can just feel like you have done something nice for them to remind them that they are loved and worthy and kind enough, and all the wonderful things that is written in here. But then in addition to that, in addition to giving them the gift of affirmation, you can also give them these little inserts, which I've cut to be just smaller than the outside page, and then they can write their own little bits and pieces on there. So there's that one, got one up here, and then I have one, oh, this one's a bit stuck, got one in there, and then the last one that's there. And then the back page, either you put another affirmation or you just put a message, you know, that it's to your friend from you at the back. So there's one of them. Something fun that I've been doing, and I did mention this in a previous video, is how I put tea bags down on paper. This is still a wet tea bag, and I've been putting these berry tea bags, I think it's acai berry and pomegranate or something like that, on this piece of paper, and I'm going to fill it up. And of course the tea bag stains the paper, and so this one has got a lot of white space. I'm going to still put a lot of tea bags on that one, but this one was all stained with chai tea, black tea chai, and so this has nothing. It's just a little Zine that I made in the exact same way as I just showed you. And I'll make another one just to kind of recap. And this one has so much potential. I can write in here, I can sketch in here, I can doodle, I can paste little bits and pieces on my inserts. So much that you can do with this guy. And then there's another one, and there's another one, and then another one of my masterboards that I made, that I photocopied, and oh, I think I showed you this one. Anyway, so those are those two. So let me make another one. Now when I photocopy my oh, you know what, let me do it with this one. Oh no, I can't. I think I have to do it with this one. Let me see, did I cut this incorrectly? I cut this one a bit skewed, didn't I? Did I? Not too much. Okay, I'm just going to go with it because I don't have another sheet out. I'm just going to cut off this white space quickly. For some reason my photocopier leaves a white space around, and I'm not sure why. So this little Zine is not going to line up exactly right, but I'm going to make it just to give you an idea, just to kind of recap the folding process. You can see how that is done. So I was reading up on Zines to find out a little bit more about them, and they first appeared on the scene around about 1930, and they were a great way for independent publishers to put their work out, because they could just make one little Zine, one little sheet of paper, and then photocopy many copies. And so it was very, very popular for independent publishers back in the 1930s. And they were sometimes used almost like flyers, and they were used to promote music bands or protests. Some protest movements were using them as little informational books or flyers, because they were so small, you know, that they could be quickly handed out, and they're so easy and quick to make that they could make many of them to hand out to people. And then they kind of lost a little bit of popularity, but they resurfaced in the 1970s, where they became more popular again. And I believe they are at some of the universities. I know the University of New York, I think it was the University of Boston as well, has little libraries, little Zine libraries, where they have collected some, especially if they came from, oh, this is red, that's okay, especially if they came from a historic movement like women's suffrage and so on, who, you know, those types of movements. Let's see, I've got to cut it. Okay, so let me, before I cut it, show you guys just again. I folded it in half again, opened it up, folded it in half again, opened it up, turned it around, folded it in half again. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. If you guys belong to my Facebook group, I think what I can do is do a sort of a infographic of the folds, and I'll load that up as our Friday freebie, because I know this can be confused the heck out of me. I had to watch a video about 5 times before I got it right, and I messed one up as well by cutting in the wrong place yesterday, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not doing that again. I think I'm doing it right. Yes, I think so. Okay, let me cut along here. Okay, like that. And now again, open it up. So it's folding, opening constantly. So I'm folding it back. So, and then standing it as a tent, taking the edges, pushing forward, and your Zine is made. I want to make one, just a note, is that I'm using paper that is a little thicker than your regular, what did I do with my, I'm using paper that is a little thicker than your regular printer paper, and I am finding that it is kind of, when I look at what's happening here, just as an example, when I fold it over, it does that. It doesn't fold as easily as maybe printer paper, which is probably more, maybe because I was folding in the wrong direction, which is maybe a little less rigid. So experiment with the weight of your paper, maybe, and see if you have better success with those. If any of you guys have made Zines, and you are on our Facebook group, please share your process, or come and share your Zines with us. I'd love to know what you make them for, why you make them, how you know, your tips and tricks. I think this one came out pretty well, except that little spot there, but I think it's because I cut the original page too small. I think I cut it skew. Okay, you guys, so very basically another little Zine. Now I know I am calling these pocket Zines because I've made pockets and I've made inserts for the pockets, but just an alternative, just an idea, if you'd like, instead of making the pockets, what you could do is leave these blank, or write in them, or doodle in them, you know, do what you want to do in your Zine, and then in these pages, you can open it up and maybe collage on the inside, or maybe sketch in each of these, or maybe write a little secret message, so that when somebody, let me do this properly, so if somebody opens up the page, they have all this secret message or a little story that maybe relates to the pictures that you did on this side. Just ideas. I mean, my brain is going in all kinds of directions here with this. So please consider, if you enjoy making little handmade books, just to try it, see what you think. Here are all my little books, my little attempts, and this one definitely is my favorite because it is already a Zine, because it already has, it's a little affirmation magazine if you want to give it a name. All right, you guys, so hope you try it. Hope you had fun watching this video and learned something with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.